Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Rom-Com Love Podcast. I'm Brennan.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Jonathan Stoddard.
And welcome as we come and talk about Crossroad Springs. So we're so excited and thrilled to have you with us. Thanks, Jonathan.
Welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's really exciting.
Of course.
Well, let's dive right in. What can you tell us about the Hamilton family and the community of Crossroad Springs?
So, well, first things first, I'll say Crossroad Springs, the way I like to describe it is that it is a family-friendly faith version of Yellowstone. And so you end up seeing a lot of really interesting stories and stuff about what the community is dealing with, what we're dealing with as a family. A lot of issues about, especially me and my character, dealing with calling versus responsibility, for my father wanting me to take over the farm, but me not feeling like that's not what I was called to do, and trying to find whether it's a middle ground or it's just trying to find out the right place and how to listen. And so I feel like it's just a beautiful series that really focuses, I think, on the truth of being human and what we all go through and struggle with.
Well, that sounds great. I've actually never seen Yellowstone, but family friendly has always been my place. Kind of TV that I love the most, because it's just fun and everybody can watch and enjoy it. So that sounds amazing.
Well, Crossroad Springs is definitely something that you could turn on with children and grandparents and everyone is going to be okay. Like, you never have to hang out next to them to cover anybody's ears or block their eyes. You're just going to get faced with real issues that might even spark family conversation after watching an episode about how to deal with conflict or how to listen to yourself and how to deal with social responsibility and community and finding your place in it. And so it's a really cool and dynamic show.
It's interesting that you say Yellowstone, just because, of course, the first thing comes to my mind is Heartland because of the crossover of cast too. And so that you went with Yellowstone kind of cracks me up. So
Sean is phenomenal.
I too have not seen that. So I've seen Landman, but I have yet to see Yellowstone. I'll get to it.
Well, all you need to do is watch Crossroad Springs. That's all you got.
That's true. That's all I have to do.
And then you're good. Check all the boxes.
And I don't have to cover my ears or close my eyes. Though I will tell you, the two of us really do like Hallmark After Dark, as we call it. So maybe Yellowstone might have a few things that would be A-okay with. So funny. Go ahead, Brennan.
That's wonderful.
So Jonathan, what was it about the character James that inspired you to say yes to this role?
So it's actually kind of funny. The original scripts that I read were for like, when I read them, I envisioned myself as one of the other characters. And then when the offer came in and it was for James, I was like, oh, wait a minute. James? Oh, that's what we're thinking about. And they got back to me and they were like, yeah, we really want you to play him. And we're actually going to kind of modify the current scripts, the ones that you just read. And we're going to shift the world to be more about James's perspective about coming home and kind of dealing with that. And that's going to be the introduction to Crossroad Springs. And at first I was like, oh, I'm really interested to see how they're going to build him out, because the only context I had was the other scripts that were kind of built. It's in the same world, but it was built around a different conflict, a different story. And I have to say, I really, really love what they did with it and how they're shaping James and the character. And a lot of it, I will say, was built on trust. I know the production company and the team, and I'm familiar with Great American Family. And so it was a great opportunity for me to kind of surrender to it and say, yes, I trust you guys. I'm in for the journey. Let's rock and roll. And then when I got it, I was like, this is really cool. I'm in. I like this a lot.
Oh, That's fantastic. And remind us, Jonathan, is this your first TV series you've done?
So as a lead, yes. I've done Young and the Restless. I did that off and on for about 3 years. I was part of a flashback series, but that was back in the 1970s world. And then I did some other stuff for Showtime on Black Monday and things like that, but those were smaller roles. And so this is the first time kind of leading and carrying a show, even in this kind of an ensemble cast with my family, with Sean and Emily and Kate and Jesse. I mean, it's a phenomenal cast. So I'm really, really grateful to be a part of it.
Oh, amazing.
Huge congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, did you know any of the, did you know who was cast before you said yes? Because I know that you've done, of course, I'm going to say, I'm calling her your BFF. You and Brittany Underwood have done a lot of movies together. And then I know that you also had a movie that's in the can with Emily, The Christmas Pitch. So you obviously had worked with them before. Had you worked with anybody else in the cast?
No, I didn't know anybody else. And, what's actually really fun is so they offered me the role and I was like, amazing, this is great. And then Emily calls me and she's like, are you going to Toronto? And she's from Toronto, right? So she was like, are you doing a project out there in Toronto? And I was like, yeah. She's like, John, I'm playing your sister. And I was like, what?
Oh my God.
And while we were filming, because we literally just got off set maybe 3 months prior.
Okay.
Doing that where we were love interests.
Yeah.
And while we were filming, we were like, it'd be funny. We kind of look like brother and sister. we literally said this. And so it's been a running gag. And then of course, they cast her husband Franco as well. And what a great guy. And so just all of us, and I've been hearing about Franco, so even though I hadn't met him, still felt like I knew him, and it was finally wonderful to be able to put some quality time with those relationships and things like that. And then Brittany's character comes in a little bit later, and originally her casting, like they went through a handful of people trying to find the right one, and then from my understanding, it was a unanimous decision where they were like, you know what, why are we trying to do anything? If we can hire somebody out of LA, their chemistry is amazing. They have such a rapport and a history together. So if we're going to be stepping outside of Toronto, we're getting Brittany 100% hands down. And then I remember the weekend that my agent and then Brittany and the company Brainpower as well. And they reached out to me and everything. Even Bill Abbott was avoiding my messages and stuff because he was like, I don't want to, it's going to be a surprise. I don't want to tell him that it's going to be Brittany because, and it was just such a cute family reveal to let me know that Brittany was going to be a part of it. So I love this family. They're really wonderful.
Oh, that's amazing. They sound like it.
They're great.
Oh, it sounds like such a great show. We'll be so eager to watch.
I'm like, I want the first episode to come out.
I know. April, we're not going backwards in time. We've got August 28th on the Pure Flix and then August 30th on Great American Family. So I cannot believe it's already August 19th, right? I don't even know what date it is anymore. It's close.
We're almost there. It's the 18th at the moment.
A weekend from this weekend, we're there.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of funny. Fast. You actually just shared what was probably your favorite off-camera moments from season 1. It would be it would be becoming a family.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as we got from Emily to Franco and everybody, this has been we even have a family group chat and we were wishing Sean happy Father's Day. And we still stay in touch and it's amazing. We've all gotten really close on this production. So I love it.
Well, you shared a little bit about this earlier, Jonathan, but what do you hope viewers will take away from their time watching Crossroad Springs?
Well, actually, this is a side question. I was just wondering, I can talk if that isn't clear. I just go on these little tangents, philosophical, wonderful things of this was my favorite moment. If I'm inadvertently answering like 6 questions in one, I can slow down and simplify. So if at any point you're like,
we love tangents. We're the queens of tangents. So they're welcome.
Mostly our issue is just making sure that we don't ask each other's questions, and we've already managed to do that today. So we're doing great. We're still working out our rhythm. We're all good.
Good. Well, so here's another way of answering what kind of like just modifying what I was saying earlier, which is I feel like this show offers an incredible opportunity to identify, to be able to identify with the characters and to go on a real human journey. There are phenomenal people in the world that we don't necessarily need shock content to be able to show a hero's journey or to show human conflict. Human conflict legitimately, and the struggle. I mean, the struggle of good and evil is one thing. Those are some clear moral balance, like differences, opposite sides of the compass. We get it. But what happens when it's not a matter of bad versus good? What if it's just good versus good? What if it's, like I was saying, calling versus responsibility? My higher calling to God versus my responsibility to my family. That's a very interesting gray area that I feel like we all go through. And whether you're a person of faith or not, it's how do you listen to yourself versus your maybe the pressures or the demands or the expectations of your family. And that you can identify that to go when you're going to college to pick a major. Do you feel the peer pressure of your parents and the expectations, or do you follow your heart? And this show, I think, does a really good job of allowing people to explore the gray area of humanity, the good versus good. What happens when a bunch of good people have really tough choices that they have to figure out how to navigate? And so I hope this show offers insight. I hope it's provoking to be able to think about these kinds of things and reflect on them ourselves. And then I hope it offers guidance so that people not only think about it and are able to reflect, but come up with solutions for their own life.
That's awesome. And I think it's okay if I speak for you too, Catherine, but we appreciate characters that we can identify with, that leave us wanting to talk after we watch. You know, it's not quite the same when you're watching something that just leaves you feeling kind of empty after, like, oh, that was fine, but it wasn't anything special, or, oh, that was kind of a waste of my time. But so thank you for sharing that. I appreciate anytime there's conversations that can be sparked after viewing or leaves you thinking or wanting more, material and content that means something that people can connect with and feel attached to.
Yeah. I will say, like, one of the reasons why I love film and television so much is because when I was growing up, I remember having in-depth conversations with my siblings and with my parents, and I would ask them, why did they do that? Like, I was invested in the character. Why did they I thought they loved them, and like, why are they walking away? Or why did they choose this when their family needs them that? And my parents were able to use the show as an educational platform to teach me about human issues and social issues and community issues and family issues. And that kind of programming, I feel like we're at a good time and place in our culture and community where that kind of programming is really necessary. And that's one of the things that I think Crossroad Springs offers people.
So I might be throwing you under the bus, Brennan, but have you seen the little clip of the 2-minute kind of introduction to the show? Because I will say the clip itself. Okay.
I haven't yet.
She's been. I told you she's very busy.
I will watch it.
No. But I was going to say that 2-minute clip did that for me. It was that drawing you in I'm at a lot of crossroads in my own personal life where you're just like, and you can see yourself. And that's, I mean, there's no, denying it for people who know who we are, that we're huge Kevin McGarry fans from When Calls the Heart. And the reason that I loved that character and actually started investing in him as an actor was because I hadn't had somebody who reached out from a screen and made me, like, I saw myself in that character's journey. And, you know, and like Brennan said, we want to be, you know, to talk, and that's, you connect and you don't hide things, because you're able, you know, these open up those conversations that are so valuable. And I wouldn't trade my community that I have from this experience at all. And I think that's just beautiful to see. I love what they're doing over at Great American Family, where they really are, like, they're not afraid to, we're believers, and they're not afraid to walk away from, you know, to not walk away. That's not the correct word, but, you know, not afraid to talk about the faith and talk about all the struggles that people have, even when you are in faith, you know, that it doesn't make it an easy road. And I just think that it's just beautiful to watch that on screen, because that's what we're all dealing with in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very much so. Beautifully said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so special. Mm-hmm.
So you hadn't worked with Sean Johnston before then, and then of course, correct, you know, he's obviously been on Heartland forever, and I honestly, sorry, I don't know, he's obviously probably had some other projects that I would be like, oh duh. So to have somebody of that caliber in this as your father, and then how was that, you know, how did that relationship grow for the two of you guys specifically, because obviously you're hand in hand a lot during these scenes?
No, he's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. And you walk on set, and immediately from the moment you get on set with him, it's okay, cool. I'm dealing with an incredible steward of the craft, a professional. I mean, he's just on point, and he's so flexible, and he's great to play with and explore. And because so much of the process, like going home and learning your lines, I mean, sure, that is one thing. You got to do it. It's baseline. But then the creativity that you're able to bring with it after, and what we call on the day or in the moment, when right before we start rolling the cameras, because once we get there and we're in the stables, or we get to see the property and the land and how we're going to move around, and how flexible can we be with camera movements and angles, and are we going to be picking up props, and how are we going to work with them? And every time I got a chance to work with Sean, I'm like, yeah, today's going to be a cool day. And just like some of my favorite scenes are with him. And it's an educational journey, because even with Heartland, I think he's been on Heartland since, even before this, but I know since 2010, and it was a couple years before that. And he just has it down to a science. I mean, the man is amazing. He is truly a professional.
I was going to say, I think they're into season 18, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I might have flipped through when I realized how many faces I recognized, because we didn't get it here. And then I saw it on Netflix, and I was like, oh, there's Cindy Busby, you know. And so I'd watch episodes and skip around, because I was like, that's a lot of commitment right now. And I never have sat down and watched the entire thing. But it's but everybody who I know, or both of us know, that watches it absolutely loves it. So one of these days it'll be our binge back.
Well, Jonathan, so would you share a little more about your rom-coms? You've been blessed and privileged to film a lot of wonderful movies, and truthfully, a lot that I haven't seen. I apologize. But as Catherine said earlier, I think we counted 17. Yeah, yep. That's incredible. What a resume. So would you say the rom-com genre is a favorite of yours?
Well, yes. I mean, simply put, yes. I just really love the craft of acting, and I have not discriminated against the work in general. And so when I've had opportunities, not only for building my own confidence and understanding the craft and the journey, but then also working with different production companies that I now call my family. And so sometimes I've gotten a call where it's like they want to try something new with the production, and they're wondering if I can take the risk with them. And I have said yes. And just because I I want to learn how to make a movie on a budget. And then I also want to know how to make a movie with millions. And I want to know how to kind of guerrilla style do certain things. And then I also want to know what it's like to be in a big studio setting. And this spectrum of movie making, because later in my career, I'm going to be directing and writing and producing and much more involved in that kind of content creation, long form narrative. And so at the moment, I've been submersing myself over the last 5 years to just say, yes, I'm in, and I'm going to give it everything I've got. And it's taken me down a really fun, interesting path that has developed into probably maybe 85% of my current work has been either Christmas movies or rom-coms. And the other 15% is either fun actions, thrillers, suspense, or comedies, or things like that. But that rom-com genre and Christmas movie genre has been really fun to explore and play with.
You've gone from the realms in your movies of the week from the royal prince to the serial killer stalker. And Lifetime, anything in between. So what is a storyline that yourself or a character that you feel driven that you would like to bring onto screen? Have you thought that far for when you're getting into the writing process and stuff?
Not yet. Not in terms of what I would create for myself. One of the well of creativity in general is so vast. And I find that I'm able to, especially at this point, because I'm just immersed in that world so often of being around creatives, that we'll sit down and then we'll come up with like 10 ideas at lunch for and even on the movie I'm on right now, like we already wrote a couple treatments for some projects and things like that. The ideas are fun. There's so many other elements that go into bringing an idea off the page. And so my biggest thing right now isn't even necessarily about a specific kind of role, because I've done the twins, I've done biography kind of things, or biopics, I've done the rom-coms, I've done accents and British, I've done the kind of killer and suspense and some action live stunt stuff, and it's just so much fun to do the spectrum, that now something that really feeds me, my heart, my soul, everything, is just working with amazing, creative, dedicated people that really love the craft and are faithful stewards of it. And so I don't care in what capacity that is. I know that the journey is an ebb and flow. And so I just want to be a part of the journey and a part of the ride.
Oh, that's amazing. There is something to be said about also enjoying who you work with. That just that makes any work environment so much better.
100%. It's everything. It's everything. I'd rather be on a smaller project with a bunch of people that I love and respect and admire than be on a huge project sitting there going like, what am I doing here?
Get me out of here.
Yeah. Like, this is awful. Like I clearly, I'm a very grounded individual, and so when I started off doing extra work. Like, that was my 2006. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm moving to LA. I'm sleeping on a couch, no overhead. Yes, this is where I'm gonna get discovered. Flip phones, I think, had become a big thing, right? Like, come on.
You had the Nokia little, remember the little Nokia ones?
Yes, the
sidekick.
And I remember being on set doing extra work, and I was on set for a project with Robin Williams, and he literally went around. There must have been 50 of us in line, and Robin Williams not only knew everyone on set on the production side's name, but then he went through and he handshook all of the background actors and introduced himself and said, "Thank you for being here." And this was my introduction to Hollywood and to what, in my opinion, real stars do.
Yes.
And for me, that is that was just that eye contact, that smile, that energy exchange. Still, I can feel, it's a visceral thing that I still feel today. And it still acts as a really big compass for me today when I'm on set. And I always try to keep that in like in front of my head. So like I was talking with the background today at lunch, and it's such an important part of the journey, I think, especially for the journey of Hollywood, which we've all heard stories about. It can take people, or at least distract people from what's really important.
Right. Wow. What a wonderful experience. First experience for you, and a first impression. Come on. That's amazing. What a memory. Can I ask Jonathan what movie that was?
Well, I don't remember. I was really active doing extra work. And I will say he wasn't the only one. Like, I know that I did extra work on Monk, and I think MacGyver, and there were a couple other movies and things. I could probably go through and find like my old call sheets from back in the day that they would send us. So I should do that, because that'd be a fun thing. But yeah, doing extra work was a very interesting and humbling experience, where I got to see and I worked my way up from extra work all the way up to stand-in. And I even did one of the stand-ins where Jeff Goldblum came in, and I got to do the scene with him while my actor was in hair and makeup. And so I got to, like Jeff, what an incredible, we were sitting there doing the scene, and I was like, no, I don't think I should be doing the lines. And he's like, no. And he called the director, and he's like, all right, we're going to run this. Let's get the camera moved. Let's blah, blah, blah. And this is during their time off. And just, these are the guys that set the bar for me. And so it was really, really cool. And yeah, it's like yesterday.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And we were talking before we logged in about Melissa Peterman. She actually was talking about her stand-ins and how she wants to do a series on the stand-ins role, because like you don't think about these people who are there while you're getting the makeup done, and then be like, she's like, when I don't remember my line, the person will elbow me or whatever. I'll be like, what is it again? And so, and I had no idea that existed until I happened to be seeing behind the scenes footage of Fuller House, and they had the little tags on for which character that they were standing in for. I'm like, what role is that? Because I always thought, like, if you weren't the person who could act, because you could read everything on my face, so I couldn't do it. But I would be like, what is there available? And now going back and looking, I mean, like, I'd even be a page. Like, I just think, I could be the person who seats the people in the studio audience and hang out and entertain them. I go, that's totally up my alley. I don't know. But and then I was talking to somebody at CBS Studios who said that you had to go to school for that. I was like, seriously? I'm like, because I'm an event planner. So I'm like, I herd cats all the time.
It's a skill though, right?
She said, she goes, no, but because that's what her reasoning was. So many of them, everybody who's doing it is generally moving up the ladder. So it's their way to, it's, part of their journey. And I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. Instead, I was like, oh, this is just my way to have my little elbow in the business and have fun.
Do you have like dad and mom jokes and things that you like to do when you do it?
No, I'm more confident in some of those now, so I probably could, but back when I thought it would just be the coolest thing, I didn't. So I definitely am not going to be the stand-up comedian that's going to be entertaining the crowd.
But it's a lot. It's a very special skill. To hold someone's attention, and like, it's great.
It is. So then how do you feel like your on-camera skills, I mean, actually, this is a good segue with it, translated for your work behind the camera, because you had your first co-director credit in Love at Lookout Lake? Is that correct? That was your first one?
Yes. Yeah. So here's something kind of fun. The more that I learn about behind the camera, the better that I feel, the better of an actor I feel I become, or at least the more comfortable. Because I feel more educated and aware of the things that we're trying to gather from behind the camera. And to me, that is everything, because film is such a technical craft. There's the emotional art form, but if we're crying and running away from the camera, then it doesn't matter how talented you are if the camera doesn't see it. So it's such an important thing to understand where you are and how you're conveying the emotion relative to the film size and what's happening and where they're moving and what the expectation of the scene is and what happens before and after. And so Love It Lookout Lake was a really great opportunity. And when I was invited to participate on that level, I have to tell you, like it was one of the most seamless transitions. Like it was just like breathing, to be able to say like, okay, I can help provide structure here. We're going to have to modify certain things here. It's now pouring rain, so we can't do this scene, but the essence of what's on the script, we're going to change it. We can modify it. We do have these things. And so to make our day, we're going to change it from an outdoor and we're going to move it over here and we'll just adjust the dialogue like so. And then, and we'll still accomplish the same exact thing, but now we can shoot it in half the time. And I loved it. I loved every single second of it. It was so easy and so effortless. So I plan on doing it a lot more in the future. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then you have some producing credits under your belt too. Is that, I know that you have some theater background too. So as you're producing in the television and movie realm, or is it, or were you ever a producer on anything for stage too?
So I will say a lot of my behind the scenes didn't happen until I was kind of off stage.
Okay.
And that was more of an active interest in understanding the craft in front of the camera. And yeah, production is interesting. To be a producer is a really interesting thing because it's a singular word that could mean a million different responsibilities. And there are some on the ground producers that, like, oh my gosh, they are the heartbeat of the entire production and you could not survive without them. And then there are other people with the exact same title who they're a producer because they made an introduction with a casting director.
We heard that. That blew our mind when we heard that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And so
that's how it works.
Yeah. And there's no ranking of producer, unfortunately. So it's some of my production, some of it has been on the ground, some of it has been admin, some of it has been connections and things like that. I've wanted it to be a lot more heavy-handed so that I could understand behind the scenes paperwork with companies and location scouting and stuff like that, because I really want to know how to do that more skillfully. And my time will come. But most of my stuff does fall more into the like connector category or helping out when we run into challenges. So I've been offered producer credits when we're on set because of some of the other things that I mentioned before, where it's like I'm comfortable in movies on any level, whether we're talking multi-million or whether we're talking about shoestring. And so when we run into challenges on set, I like being the Papa Bear and I like taking care of people and everything. And so for me, it's oh, well, we have this solution, that solution, this solution. Oh, we're short on our day. We can do X, Y, Z. And I think it's happened a couple times where, like, even getting asked to co-direct, that happened mid-filming. And yeah, that was not an initial start off. That happened because we ended up having a number of people on the production side. Either one person had COVID, another person ended up having a child that had a car accident and they needed to leave. Like, there were a number of things that needed to happen to where our director needed to step away and take care of other things, and then asked, hey, John, I trust you. I trust your vision for this. We can collaborate on this, but I need some help. And I was like, happily. And then at the end, he was like, you did more than I could ever imagine. And I didn't realize how effortless this was going to be for you and how much you were going to love it. And he's like, I want to make you a co-director on this. And I was like, all right, very cool. I'd be honored. So it's been an interesting journey. And I think in every area of our life, if we look for the places that we can add value, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Whether or not other people recognize it, we end up growing so much as individuals that eventually it's inevitable that you will get recognized.
Absolutely. Oh, that's amazing. That's so neat that him just asking you also discovered how much you love it and how you want to continue doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, such a what a beautiful kind of accidental circumstance to fall into. Like so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of like gave me a little itch that I was like, I want to do this again. Under better circumstances, but I want to do this again.
Right. Yes. To go take a vacation, do something fun this time. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm a huge component. That's actually how I got into the event world. Was I was a preschool teacher, and I just made I wanted our staff to really get to, we always had the kids, so to really get and chit chat with each other. So I made reservations at Chili's, or I made it was as simple as that. And then that led to doing a bike-a-thon for St. Jude's, that the local news came and interviewed me. And then I figured that was quote unquote event planning. And I didn't know it. Unbeknownst to me, one of my parents at the daycare did it. And so my friend was their babysitter. And she goes, hey, I think you should babysit for these people and ask this lady some questions. And I job shadowed her, and she just said, you ask the right questions, I'll take a chance on you. And off we went to the races. And I mean, of course, school is important in different elements, but there's so much with that hands-on learning and those experiences and those, sometimes those fails that, make it, obviously that's how you grow too. So that is, I love stories like that, because I feel like that's so true to my heart too.
Well, it's amazing what skills we have that we don't realize are the skills necessary to succeed somewhere else. It's just called something else.
Right.
But you already have the skills.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like event planning. You're like, oh, wait. Oh, that's what event planning is? I thought that was just like being a good teacher.
Yep. That's why I say herding cats, I got it. But then at the same time, I don't know the latest trends in decoration because I'm not doing that. But that's why you have these people over here, and you can either choose to learn from them, or everybody fits into a puzzle because you all bring something different to the table.
Yeah. So. Yeah, absolutely. And then you work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, all from talking about one show, this is where we've gotten.
Incredible.
Yes. Well, we have a few more questions to wrap up. So you brought your musical talent into your roles. What is your favorite genre of music? And do you do any songwriting on your own?
So if I sit down with the guitar, my style is at least, all right. So when I was younger and I was exploring music a lot more seriously, I kind of said it was a mix between, it was like if it was like John Mayer and Dave Matthews were married, but then one of them had an affair with Jack Johnson.
Wait,
it somehow all goes together. Yeah.
That was your look, or that was your music? Like, I mean, which one was it?
All of the above?
All of the above.
And not that I want to condone that kind of behavior, but it does create a really interesting music child that you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I see that and I see how it could work. It's kind of like blues influenced American acoustic, some crossover into some pop stuff. Like, so if I'm sitting down with myself, and for me, music is something that transcends words. I'm a passion player. I feel it. And I didn't really speak a lot when I was a kid, and music was always something that music and just like being super hyperactive was a really, really big way for me to express myself. And then, so I love that this series, because they have seen some of my other work as well, like a Country Music Christmas and things like that, where I got to write some music for that. And even in Crossroad Springs, a lot of the times that I'm fiddling with the guitar, they're all original pieces and things that either I pulled out of my library, my catalogs, things like that. And we do some gospel things, and obviously I didn't write those, but it's, for me, being able to mix both film and television, and to my passion of music and integrating the two, it's such a special experience for me. Like, I really, really love it.
That's incredible. Have you ever like recorded anything officially?
I have, and I had it up on Spotify for a little bit, and then I took it down a couple
no!
years ago.
Would you ever put it back up?
If if anything, I would probably go through and re-record. Like I do later in life, along with like writing and directing, I am probably, because I have so much music. I have so much, just like on my phone. I have so much stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be writing albums and doing stuff like that because they're like, it's such an important part of my life. Like I have my own soundtracks. I create soundtracks for everything. I am fiddling with music, and I have little ditties and stuff like that I do for all of my characters. Like music is a language. It's not just something that I do. It's a way to breathe and connect in a way. Like words fall flat sometimes, but you hear a chord progression, and sometimes like your whole body just it can rise or it can melt. Like the right music done in the right way, there's nothing like it.
My
That's
gosh,
so true.
You are people, Jonathan.
You really are my friend.
We'll have you come back to do a wrap up.
Okay.
We'll have a lot more to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, because we'll have the show. We'll be able to see some stuff. You'll have the art, all of it.
We'll see how many of those 17 movies, which are not all rom-coms. There's some stalkerish type of movies in there too.
I have one coming out. So what is it? The 18th? I have one coming out in 4 days.
Oh, okay.
Where I play a bad guy.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
And what's the name of that one?
The Doctor with Two Faces.
Okay.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
It's that I've seen that one, as I'm scrolling through, looking at the schedules of what's coming up. So we will check that out.
It's in 4 days. Yeah. It's on Lifetime, it was a cool thing because apparently Lifetime has really pulled back on the movies that they're purchasing and acquiring and stuff like that. And this one, apparently they effortlessly went for it. And so I'm very excited to see it. I think there's an interesting push for more series-based content, just in general. And I think part of the reason for that is because you can do a movie, and most companies they're not even promoting them anymore. So it's maybe left up to the actors to do stuff on Instagram or on socials or something like that, but they're not putting the marketing dollars into it. And so you release a movie, and then boom, your movie instantly the next day gets buried with like 500 others that came out that same day. And now all of a sudden if you even make it up to like the top 10, and that's an if, otherwise you're buried. But there are movies with huge names that I'm like, I didn't even know that came out this year. Nobody did marketing, nobody pushed anything. And so, but now here's the thing, you do a series, and let's say they're doing a slow release of like one every week, then anybody can jump on the train and episode 3, 4, 5, and then they're going to want to go back to episode 1 to watch all the way through. And so the marketing is already implanted there for you. And then for streaming services, it means that they're committed at least for the month, 2 months, 3 months to be able to watch the show. And so I think, and I'm not a guru in this, but I do work a lot, and I'm seeing some interesting things and talking to people. And so I think that is a really important idea, is how do we build more of a community? How do we naturally integrate the concept of marketing while slow releasing content so that we can keep fans, build fans, love the content, trust the content, but then also have something to go back to rewatch, versus a movie, boom, happy ending in 2 hours or evil ending in 2 hours, whatever you go for. And then it's done. And then chances are next time you watch a movie, you're going to watch something that you either really love or is nostalgic for you, or that you've seen before that you can trust, or you're going to put on Harry Potter or, something and as background noise. So series, I think we're going to see a big push for series over the next couple years.
We've seen the sitcoms and we've seen the studio audiences come back. I mean, obviously they disappeared with COVID, but yeah, they're so I completely agree with you. It makes sense. You know what I really wish Lifetime, and I don't think that they can bring it back. I think it ended nicely, but I really liked when they did Drop Dead Diva. That was just it was just fun, and at that point it was different, you know, like, and just kind of was just, if you missed it, you could easily catch up the next week, kind of a thing. So I love to see them bring something like that back again. And I've always, you know, like I've always thought, like, for Great American Family or Hallmark or even Ion, I mean, they do like Reba's on there for their repeats of those. They've got Full House, you know, on GAF, and it's just like, or they used to, I'm not sure if they still do, but I'm like, and I know that obviously there's a lot of money and it's a different avenue with it, but it's kind of, I've always wondered why they don't produce their own, because if you're showing somebody else's already, it just kind of made more sense to me to do your own, but obviously financials.
Well, that's the birth of Crossroad Springs.
That's true, yeah.
It is their first original series. So everything else that's County Rescue, everything else they've acquired or existed somewhere that they brought in. So Crossroad is their first original. They're developing it, overseeing it, everything.
Well, Jonathan, when you're not acting or making music, what do you like to do in your spare time?
If you have any.
Yes, being outside, playing music, but I like doing photography. And so it's so tough for me to go from like being around all these amazing, brilliant, creative people, and then to go home, and then it's like, who do I play with? So I started a photography company years and years ago, and it's still with that I'll now mostly only shoot word of mouth. But when I go home, I like to bring in other actors, or like I'll volunteer to go to a friend. Like I have a lot of magic friends, and so I'll go to their magic events and I'll photograph them or have fun doing that and just staying creative and engaged. And that's also part of the way that I get to continue to practice being behind the camera and play with lighting and framing and all this stuff. So I would say that takes up most of my time. And then other than that, I have 7 nephews and then my mom and dad. And so just being there for my family, and my parents are getting older. And so that's a really big thing that has shifted to become a really big priority to me, is spending time with my family as they get older.
How old are the nephews?
They range all the way from 18, just turned 18, the oldest.
Oh.
Yeah.
It goes by too quick.
So wild. It's so bizarre.
Is he going off to school, or is it his senior year?
It's his. So he's going to senior year locally. He was homeschooled and was doing a lot of programs at home with his mom and dad and stuff. And then his brother just turned 16 as well. And so they're amazing kids, and they're taller than me. And it's like, there are things, right? There are things that you think you're never going to say. And then you get to that age and then you see other kids coming up and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm saying that stuff that I was I cringed at when other people would say when I was
used to roll your eyes.
Like, oh, look at you, you're so big, like all that stuff. Like,
where did that happen, young man?
It comes out of my mouth and I'm like, oh no, I'm aging. Take it back. Take it back.
Not only does the aging for the kids happen quickly, I still like to believe I'm 25 and I'm nowhere near it. So I'm like, in my mind, I am.
Well, you're 26.
Thank you. Yes,
exactly.
I'll always be 29. That's what I'm going to go with. No, I have I was asking because I have a 13-year, or no, he's 12. He's only 12. He keeps telling me I keep aging him, but I have a 12-year-old nephew, and I'm just like, and then a 10-year-old niece and a 5-year or 6-year-old niece, and I know how to deal with kids till kindergarten because I was babies through preschool when I was a preschool teacher. And then afterwards I'm like, I didn't know really, like how to interact, because I'm like, if they want to play Minecraft, you want to spend the time with them, but I just don't get it, and nor do I want to try to get it. So every once in a while, thankfully, he's actually my sweet, soft boy who will watch a rom-com with me, and he likes this love ballads, and I go, oh, thank goodness.
I'll keep you.
As long as I can avoid Minecraft for a little bit, I'm thrilled.
The kid culture is real.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have their own massive, like I remember growing up, it was no, you were in, like I was influenced by my siblings, and I grew up liking what they liked because I didn't have a choice, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of like, it was such a major part, but now kids have their own world. It is like, and you get immersed in it, and it from Minecraft to all the video games and the online world and like all the social platforms and all of it. They have like it's wild.
They are our education. Wild. Yeah, we're in the generation that, I hate to say it this way, we are, but we're like, there's one commercial I see that's like, if you're still using Chat GTP as your Google, you are old. And I'm like, that's me.
You're like, I never started using it. I still use Google.
I do too. Or that one commercial where it's a scene from 90210, the original, and then the girl is like, if you remember this scene, yeah, you are too old. I'm like, what? No. It's just a good show. It doesn't mean I'm old.
But I'm just like, so yeah, and the running joke always with me is I'm like, so when you guys going to become the YouTube star for Auntie, so that I'm like, I'll do your red carpet events, you guys just have fun and we'll live happily ever after.
Start them young.
I've been trying, and then but when they want you to watch them, I'm like, oh no, not that again.
You're like, all right, as long as you buy me a house.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's the opposite. I want them to buy me a house.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're like, okay, I'll be your event coordinator. I'll watch you. I'll support you. Buy me a house.
Exactly.
Give me that YouTube money.
Oh my gosh. Oh, too funny. All right. Well, let's wrap up on those questions that you weren't sure you'd be able to answer. You're going to knock this out of the park. You got it, John.
You got this, Jonathan.
Setting the bar real high.
Well, maybe you know what? I'll let Brennan be your phone a friend. I'll ask both of you, so it can be a tag team. Okay. So, Sweet Maple Romance had the original title of. Your choices are The Aroma of Love, The Beauty of Love, A Taste of Love.
Beauty of Love.
See, you got it.
A+ right away.
Now, I will say this, that one in particular, they did a double release on it.
Okay, what does that mean? So 2 different networks, or?
That's actually a good question. I'd have to double check, but I know that when they switched names, so it's different than if we're filming it one name and then it switches to a different name when it gets released. So for example, the movie coming out is The Doctor with Two Faces. What we filmed was called Till Death.
Oh, okay.
So, but with The Beauty of Love, we filmed it, The Beauty of Love. It was released, The Beauty of Love. And then I want to say maybe a year and a half or 2 years later, then maybe a Canadian network or a different US network took it, they bought it, and then I don't know what the deal was behind the scenes, but then they renamed it. And I think that was part of the agreement, is that they weren't licensed to use that same name. So then it became Sweet Maple Romance.
Okay. So riddle me this one, and Brennan, I know you have to go, but there was Torrance's movie, was it not, Brennan? That aired on the same net. It aired on GAF twice, but under different names.
Yeah.
And that one totally confused us. And when we were talking with him, he's like, "Yeah, I don't know why it used to be this, now it's this." And for it to be under the same network was really mind-boggling to us.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, and what were the two of them, Brennan? Was it Much Ado?
It first came out as Much Ado About Christmas, and then they changed it to a Hot Cocoa Christmas.
Which okay. And I love it. He was like,
the movie's the same.
He's like, "Did we drink hot cocoa?"
Yeah, I'm like,
was there even hot cocoa in it?
At the very beginning, there's that quick shot. That's it.
That was his question to Brennan. Did we drink hot cocoa?
You must have.
I mean, I don't know what the inspirations are, but I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Well, when you're in the room where it happens someday, and if it ever happens to you, you're like, "Can you riddle me this?"
Yes.
Okay, so what was Brittany's character's name in A Royal Christmas Holiday? Oh, I lost you. Okay, once again, what was Brittany's character's name in A Royal Christmas Holiday? And your choice, do you guys hear me?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Katie, Christy, or Carly?
Katie.
And Jonathan, what was your character's name?
Royal Christmas Holiday?
Uh-huh. You've been a prince too many times, I think, so maybe this one. Was
I Prince Jonathan?
You were Prince Jonathan.
A+++.
Because I think I've played Prince Jonathan maybe twice, and then I've played other princes.
Yes, and then I will say, when I was looking it up, you've played similar character names, so I just thought, I was just like, well, if I hint at what your name is, but I was like, I'm going to see if he knew what his name was. His name.
It's a good name.
Good name. You got it.
It's a great name. Good job, parents.
My brother's name is John too.
Oh, nice.
What was the flavor of pie that Peyton accidentally gives Archer in Baked with a Kiss? Honey lavender.
I was going to say it was a lavender something.
Honey rose or honey musk?
Well, honey lavender then.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, I'm feeling so good about these trivia questions.
You are rocking it. Okay, now don't let me down. We're ending on the left. Okay, no,
oh yeah, now this is when I'm good.
What was Jude's hometown in Valentine's Town? Its name was Cupid's Arrow, Arrow Heart, or Candy Kisses?
No, Arrow Heart.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Oh my goodness, Jonathan, pass with flying colors. Now you can be in any movie you want.
You can rock any rom-com trivia.
I know we're short on time, but can I tell you a travel story about that movie?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
And I'll make it kind of quick. So I did this. I had booked this tourism commercial for India. And I don't know if you guys have seen it online, but it's absolutely beautiful. We shot for over a month, or just over a month. And the production was so wonderful to postpone our start date for Valentine's Town because we knew a couple months in advance. And so they were like, okay, we're going to do April 3rd or something like that. And my birthday is March 31st. So I go to India, celebrate in India while we're filming, which is amazing. And then we're like, okay, we're figuring out plane tickets to get back. Mm-hmm. And with time changes, the Indian production company was going to fly me back on the 3rd, but because of how because of it's a long flight, and you have to
the 4th or the 2nd or the 5th.
you have to hop on and do all these other things to be able to get there to. So we were in Rajasthan, and then we needed to get down to the Tampa area, basically. And I would have arrived the night of the 3rd. And they said, no, we need you at 7 a.m. on the 3rd. And the whole day is just you. And it's all your solo scenes and everything like that. And I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. Let me figure out how to get from India to like the Pinellas County, like Tampa area. This is going to be great. And so we ended up figuring it out where we were, because we were in like this like rural, very like small kind of area in Rajasthan. And we shot from 4 a.m. until 3 p.m., jumped in a car. The closest airport, which is what we were going to fly out of to go to Mumbai and then get me back, but that would have put me back in the wrong day. Mm-hmm. So the driver ended up driving me 5.5 hours or so to a bigger airport, got to that airport, got to JFK, went through customs. I had less than an hour to go through customs, get on a local flight to go to Orlando, because there were no flights that late that would get me into Tampa.
Oh.
And we sat there, and I was supposed to arrive at 2 a.m. And then it's a 2-hour drive from Orlando to Tampa, or to where we were past Tampa. Mm-hmm. And then I was going to be on set by 6:30. Well, my flight from JFK got delayed on the tarmac. I didn't arrive until 4:30 a.m. The woman that was supposed to pick me up was like, I can't do it this late. Later. So one of the executive producers drove from Pinellas County 2 hours up, grabbed me from Orlando. 4:30. We drove directly to set, and then started filming immediately.
Wow.
And that's how we started Valentine's Town. So originally we were going to dye my hair back, but I had it dyed, like bleached. It was bleached for my India job. Mm-hmm. And so when you watch Valentine's Town, I have like, but it was one of those things where it's like, okay, have faith, ask for solutions, figure it out. Mm-hmm. Don't take no for an answer, and find a solution and get creative. And we were able to make it work. And it was one of the cooler experiences that I think of. But anyway, it's a fun little like, wow, that's crazy. That was like 14 hours of travel, and then straight into a 12-hour shoot day.
Oh, anything is possible.
Yeah, anything is possible.
But did you sleep on the planes at all? That is the first question.
Great question.
I can't imagine rolling up like fresh as a daisy to set.
Right. You do what you can. Well, I mean, you can only sleep so soundly on a plane.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you're not moving. So even when you wake, and then it's not necessarily like the food is, you're not getting the healthiest stuff. So you're sitting there like, oh, what's not going to make me feel awful?
Exactly. So. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, gosh, I'll be honest. I didn't fall asleep till 7 a.m. and I was like, I'm doing good today. But it was just like one of those days. Yeah, and I was just like, I can't imagine. Like, literally, I'm tired hearing the story.
Oh my goodness.
It's wild. It's wild, but it worked. And Valentine's Town is a really special movie for me. I really, really love that. And Josh Banks, such a phenomenal director. I mean, the people on that were great.
Oh, so cool. Well, we will be having a movie marathon, and I'm glad you only need to go as far as Toronto now for your more filming when you have to get back to Crossroad Springs.
Yes.
And if you're already on the East Coast, you can just maybe stay on the East Coast and already be there.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I got to do something with my place.
Can I ask Jonathan where you are, like where you live? You can just tell us the state, or are you in Canada?
No. So I live in Hollywood. I mean, technically. So it's a very expensive storage unit at the moment.
I'm sorry, but no. Storage unit. Never home.
So I try to tell all my friends, I'm like, please let this be worth it. If you're going to go to Hollywood, let me know you can crash in my place. They're like, no, we couldn't do that. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's sitting there empty.
My house misses people, and maybe
it does.
And maybe you just want to go back to how you started with couch surfing. That might just be the solution.
Hey,
right.
Matthew,
this is better, right? Made it from a couch to a storage unit. That's progress.
Yeah. I mean, Matthew McConaughey bought a camper because he was traveling around so much. I was like, you know what? Not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
All right.
Nope.
Maybe I'll do that.
You should.
We'll check on you in about 4 years and see if the address is still the same. And that was after season 4 of Crossroad Springs.
Right.
You'll have a mansion by then.
Why would I have a mansion? I'm not going to live there.
Because then you'd have more rooms to catch up with dust when you get home. That's why.
Yeah. No, it'll be a glamping mansion, something I can collapse and take with me someplace.
That's what you need. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. I did not mean to laugh at that, but that is just because I have my cousins live out in California, so I know they're always, and I will say Minnesota's kind of we're not there, but we're number 3 for, I think, expense at this point. So you get, and so at that point, I was just like, totally understand that one. So, and a lot of them travel too all the time. So.
No, it's wild. It's such an interesting business. But yeah, eventually I'm going to settle down. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It really is. But it's like, but again, even like that India story, I know so many actors who've been like, they would tell me things, right? They're sitting there. It's almost like water cooler talk. And they're like, John, can you believe these people, they wanted me to fly here and do this. And I would have barely slept. So I was like, no, thank you. And I was like, what? What do you mean? No, thank you. And they're like, but it's so hard to find work. And I'm like, yeah.
Because you're
saying me a river.
You're not taking those opportunities with your leap of faith, which will get you to your sitcom with your 8 to 4 days that you're looking for.
There you go.
Yep.
It all builds, and we're so much more capable than we realize and we give ourselves credit for. And it's like the goal of life is not to be comfortable. We have to stretch, and we have to grow to be able to develop our talents, to be more of better service to people, to be able to extend and reach and be more capable as human beings in our capacity to love and give and all of it. And it's like that only happens with stretching and pushing the limits and finding solutions and having faith. And so I talk to so many actors that are brilliant, but they don't want to do a 14-hour flight to figure out the solution. They would rather just say no.
Well, I think you need to give some Hollywood master classes, because I'm inspired, and I don't even live in Hollywood. I'm inspired to try it. Well, on that note, thank you so much for spending this time with us. This was a blast. It was wonderful to get to meet you.
You guys are wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys are great. And we have more to talk.